defensive guard.
Oh yeah.
The 400 troops
Oh, the music is
charged with
changing.
protecting the council
Okay.
are not.
All right. I'm actually early to an Epic History TV reaction. This is the premiere. Let's get it. Napoleon's coup. Oh, I'm hyped for this. I am hyped for this. We need a
October
Bonaparte.
1799.
All right.
After 500 days campaigning in Egypt and Syria,
yeah.
Napoleon has returned to France. And with a small entourage, he travels north to Paris.
Right.
Everywhere he goes, he is greeted by crowds, embraced by dignitaries, and feted as a conquering hero.
Yeah,
But
that
such
Napoleon
celebrations
Egypt was
cannot
crazy.
hide that France is a country in crisis and despair. Banditry is so rife that Napoleon's own luggage is stolen en route.
What? Damn.
Prices are soaring.
Didn't know it was
So
that bad.
too are taxes. Trade has been decimated by years of war and blockade.
Wow.
There is conscription, censorship, and corruption.
So much for being free, honestly.
Abroad,
I didn't know it was that bad.
France once more faces a powerful coalition of enemies.
The second coalition.
And though General Massena's brilliant victory at Zurich has won respite, France is not safe yet.
Massena is the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says,
But in
honestly.
Bonaparte, many see a savior for the country. Thanks to his own propaganda, everyone has heard of his brilliant victories in Italy and Egypt.
Yeah, that was
His
crazy,
name is
bro.
celebrated in newspapers and plays. The air rings
Well
with
deserved.
cries of
Well
"Hurrah for
deserved."
Bonaparte! He will save the country."
And he did. He did. He did. He did. You can't. This is valid, bro. Napoleon, the most valued person in history. You can
Not
quote what I said.
everyone is thrilled by the general's
Arguably.
return. At the very top of French government, some wonder if Bonaparte should not be court-martialed for abandoning his army in Egypt, and now flouting France's quarantine laws.
Ooh.
However, Napoleon
Good
does now
question.
have a letter from the Directory ordering his return to France, though he acted before receiving it. There's also concern that a move against such a hugely popular general could easily backfire.
Yo, what if Napoleon didn't have that letter, bro? Holy. Will we see Napoleon get court-martialed? Oh!
For his
Let us
part,
continue.
Napoleon regards the government with contempt, a sentiment he's happy to share in private. Over breakfast, he tells General Thibault, "These men are bringing France down to the level of their own blundering. They are degrading her."
Facts.
Well,
Facts.
what can generals expect from this government of lawyers? To Napoleon, it's self-evident that he would do a better job, given all his glorious achievements in Italy and Egypt.
That's battles, not being a politician, right?
Since 1795, France has been ruled by the Directory, a five-man executive whose members hold power for 5 years.
How good was the Directory?
1799,
How good
its
were they?
members are Paul Barras, Napoleon's first patron, infamously corrupt and dissolute, but a shrewd political operator. He has been a permanent member of the Directory since its formation. Emmanuel Joseph Seyss, a former priest who wrote the revolution's most famous political pamphlet, now regarded as the leading political thinker in France. Then, 3 staunch Republicans, appointed to the Directory just 4 months ago, under outside pressure.
Okay.
Louis Goyer, a veteran Jacobin and former minister in the National Convention. Jean-François Moulin, a Jacobin general who had commanded in the bloody war in the Vendée. And Pierre Roger Ducos, a more moderate figure and ally of Sieyès. The other major element of government, the legislature, is comprised of the Council of 500, who draft laws, and the Council of Elders, who approve them. Members of both councils dress in extravagant costumes, inspired by their great model, to which they refer constantly, the ancient Republic of Rome.
I knew it! I knew it, bro! I knew it!
The Directory in particular,
I was gonna say
is now
something,
widely
but I was
regarded
gonna
as
wait.
corrupt, ineffective, and unfit to survive.
Okay, I guess that
Powerful
answers
men
my
on the
question.
inside will play a leading role in its destruction.
I returned to France at a fortunate moment when the existing government was so bad it could not continue. Napoleon on St. Helena.
On his
Ooh,
return
that is
to
a
Paris,
nice map of
Napoleon
Paris.
takes up residence in the home of the
That
Beauharnais
is such
family
a nice
on
map
Rue
of
de la
Paris.
Victoire, which has been renamed in his own honor.
That's really cool.
Given the unsettled political climate, he faces an uncertain and potentially dangerous few months in the capital.
Bro, Napoleon is casually
man he can
mogging.
count
Look at this. My man Napoleon, look at that jawline. He's just mogging everyone.
On as a valuable guide, his younger brother, Lucien.
Bro, I swear, sometimes I forget
He
Napoleon has
serves in
siblings.
the Council of 500 as the deputy for Corsica, and has recently been elected its president. As such, he will be a key player in the weeks ahead.
Interesting.
But first comes a stormy reunion with his wife, Josephine, which quickly gives way to a passionate rapprochement.
Oh yeah, Josephine. I said in my Napoleon Italy video that Josephine is for the street. She's for the street.
Both have been guilty of infidelities.
Oh, never
but
mind.
Napoleon is clearly still in love. And his earlier
Yo, let me tell you something, bro. Fun fact: did you know that 50% of all men that cheat are still love their wives? That's crazy. But 90% of women who cheat, 90% of women who cheat don't love their husbands. It's like wild.
talk of divorce is quietly forgotten.
So I'm not even like surprised about this.
Henceforth, Josephine will prove a faithful wife, and through her social connections, an important political ally.
It's weird how this relationship worked, honestly. Like, how did this even survive?
Paris is awash with talk of plots and conspiracies. Rumors of threats from the left, ex-Jacobins, who oversaw the bloody days of the Terror. And from the right, secret royalists who want to turn back the clock. And there are those who seek a third option.
Middle ground, the
Soon after his
Directory.
arrival in Paris, Napoleon receives a visit from France's ex-foreign minister, Maurice de Talleyrand. Talleyrand, a keen observer of which way the political wind was blowing, had resigned from the government in July. Having worked with Napoleon in planning the Egyptian expedition, he now proposes they collaborate on another plan to replace the government of France. Napoleon,
Oh,
disgusted by the current regime, immediately welcomes the idea.
of course.
Talleyrand then reveals that a member of the Directory itself is working to bring down the regime. Sieyès, the country's leading political
Emmanuel
thinker,
Joseph
has
Sieyès.
decided that the Directory must be cast aside and that France must have a new constitution, which he intends to write. He plans to sweep away the chaotic, unruly legislature and its weak, ineffectual executive. To save the Republic, radical reforms are needed, and an entirely new form of government.
This is heating up, and this music is making this even more heated.
Sieyès already has the support of another director, Roger Ducos, and the president of the Council of Elders, Louis-Nicolas Lemercier. He even has the support of the president of the Council of 500, Lucien Bonaparte. Minister of Police, Joseph Fouché, who has eyes and ears across Paris, is also aware of their conspiracy, but has agreed not to intervene.
Oh, he's not snitching.
Now, Sieyès seeks a sword, as he puts it, a military figurehead to keep the army on side and be wielded at the decisive moment, and then sheathed afterwards.
Genius.
But such a man is proving difficult to find.
Napoleon.
Sieyès' first choice had been General Joubert,
It's
Napoleon's talented subordinate at Rivoli. But he'd been killed earlier that year.
Oh.
Shot dead at the Battle of Norvy in northern Italy.
That's what happened
General
to him?
MacDonald is sounded out, but is too much the honest Republican for such skullduggery. General Moreau, who has led the army of the Rhine with great success, declines the role. In a moment he will later regret. He recommends Bonaparte. There's your man. He will make a better job of your coup d'etat than I could.
Oh no! Top 10 disasters before. No, bro. Top 10 moments before disasters. No! And the quote makes this worse.
Sieyès does not like Napoleon. His ambition is too obvious. It is Talleyrand who persuades Sieyès that they have found their sword. On the 23rd of October, Napoleon and Sieyès meet for the first time.
Oh, no.
They agree that the Republic is in grave peril from enemies within and without, and that the Directory cannot meet the challenge. Within a week, they agree to launch a coup to overthrow the government of France.
The pear is ripe. The pear is ripe.
The conspirators plan their coup for the 7th of November, 16th Brumaire, according to France's revolutionary calendar, the month of fog. It's a risky operation.
Is that translated
It will
into
take 2 days,
our calendar? Okay.
during which any number of things could go wrong. Many of the plotters take precautions. Sieyès carries a briefcase stuffed with cash for a quick getaway. Fouché, the Minister of Police, has drafted orders for Napoleon's arrest in case he needs to switch sides.
Oh, what? Oh, nah, that's crazy. No, snakes, bro. That is
Napoleon sleeps with 2 loaded pistols by his bed. At the last minute, there's a 48-hour
This is the best one. This is the best one I've reacted to. This is the best one. Oh my god.
postponement.
Oh my god.
So instead, that night, Bonaparte dines at General Bernadotte's apartment on the Rue de Cisalpine. They are joined by Generals Moreau and Jourdan. He wants the support of these influential generals for his coup. Moreau agrees to help. Jourdan promises not to interfere. But Bernadotte is outraged and warns Napoleon that he'll be guillotined. "We'll see," says Napoleon.
Hold! All he said was, "we'll see"? Oh, that is cold. That is cold. That is such a cold moment. Oh my goodness, man. We'll see. Yo, Napoleon is actually him. Napoleon is actually him, man. So today's the day is clearing for the rubbish dump. Conversation between soldiers overheard by the police.
The 9th of November, Paris. In the crisp hours before dawn, Napoleon meets around 60 officers that he's invited to his house. He informs them that he's decided he must act to save the Republic and asks for their support.
All right.
They affirm their loyalty with oaths of allegiance. The most important man to convince is General Lefebvre, the no-nonsense military commander of Paris. But Napoleon knows his man. He presents Lefebvre with the sword he wore at the Battle of the Pyramids as a mark of his great esteem, and the general is won over.
All right.
Let's
you gotta
throw
win.
those bloody lawyers in the river.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man.
At 7 a.m., the Council of Elders meets in an unscheduled
need the
early session
military.
at the Tuileries Palace. Only Sieyès' allies have been invited, so without opposition, they quickly passed two measures. First, Napoleon is to be given immediate command of the Paris military district, using the pretext of a non-existent Jacobin plot. Second, tomorrow the legislature will move from its usual meeting place in the center of Paris to the Château de Saint-Cloud, 5 miles west outside the city. This, the plotters tell the council, is for their own safety. The Paris mob is famed for its unpredictable and violent political interventions. The move is, of course, to protect the conspirators themselves from such an event.
Ironic. Ironic.
At 10 a.m., Napoleon arrives at the Tuileries.
I love this map of Paris, man.
He speaks to the Council of Elders, reassures them that the trusted generals Lefebvre and Berthier are by his side, and concludes, "We want a republic founded upon true liberty, on civil liberty, on national representation. We will have it. I swear it." Where so many had died under the guillotine. He turns to his secretary.
Surreal.
"Tomorrow," he says, "either we will sleep at the Luxembourg, or we'll end up here."
Oh my gosh. And he's still going forward. The fact that he's still going forward and doing this is legendary, bro. It's so legendary. Like the courage. Jeez.
Napoleon rises at 4 a.m. and rides to Saint-Cloud. There he meets Murat, newly promoted to General of Division.
I love Murat.
6,000 troops surround the chateau. Officially, they're there to guard the council members. But as deputies arrive for the day's session, the heavy military presence is impossible to miss.
Yeah,
There are long delays.
very
Benches
heavy.
have to be found for the chambers. Council members have time to mingle and discuss the many swirling rumours.
You. Ooh.
This time, the
Ooh.
Jacobin deputies are present, and they're not happy at being excluded from the previous day's meeting. When the councils finally begin their sessions at 1 p.m, the mood is raucous. The
Can you
sudden
imagine?
resignation of the directors, the presence of so many troops,
Yeah,
of
bro,
a
that's
Jacobin plot. There is much to discuss.
tense. Very tense, bro.
The plotters had hoped for a quick vote to establish a new provisional government. But the presidents of both councils struggle to take charge. Hours pass.
Oh, what? I mean, I know.
Napoleon loses patience. At 4 p.m, he bursts into the Council of Elders.
Oh,
As he begins to speak, he is heckled and derided. Napoleon is thrown off balance. He rambles, mutters, then hesitates. When a deputy interrupts, "What of the Constitution?" Napoleon flings back, "The Constitution? You yourselves annihilated it." There is uproar.
Whoa.
Napoleon continues, demanding action from the council. Anyone who speaks against him, he strongly implies, has been paid by the British. To any such deputy, he warns, "May the lightning of war crush him instantaneously.
oh, using the
Remember that I
using the British as a scapegoat, man.
walk accompanied by the god of war and by the god of fortune."
Well, he's not wrong.
These
He's not wrong.
chosen words seem to confirm the Assembly's very worst suspicions. By some accounts, Napoleon has to be dragged from the chamber by his staff, shouting, "You are scoundrels! I will have you shot if you don't obey me!"
You know, Napoleon, that's some risky words, man. That's some
Napoleon
very
is
risky
shaken,
words.
but not defeated.
Very,
Within
very
minutes, he
risky
storms
words.
down the corridor into the Council of 500,
Oh,
where the
it's not
president,
done.
his brother, has lost all semblance of control.
Uh-oh.
The mood here is of even greater defiance. The deputies have spent the morning swearing oaths of loyalty to the Constitution. And when Napoleon arrives, flanked by grenadiers, he receives a torrent of abuse. "Down with the tyrant," they cry. "Outlaw! Caesar! Cromwell!" These the names of famous generals turned tyrant.
Hey, bro.
As the crowd presses in, he is grabbed, jostled, even punched.
This is so chaotic right now.
Lefebvre and his grenadiers
Like, I'm not even saying much because I don't even know, like, what is happening. Holy.
rush in to extricate Napoleon from the scuffle. They haul him clear and drag him into the courtyard outside.
Okay, how is this gonna go down? How is this gonna go down? Come on. Since they've made you an outlaw, make them outlaws yourselves. Fact. Fact. Nothing but fact.
Napoleon is
Facts.
rattled and bloodied. He seems unsure what to do.
The first time
His
Napoleon
old
doesn't know what to
comrade,
do.
General Augereau, now a council member, comes out to see him. "You're in deep water now," Augereau tells him. Napoleon regains his composure. "It was worse at Arcole."
It was worse at Archelaus.
Nevertheless,
like
the
these-
coup
I like
totters
these
on the brink of
quotes.
disaster. If the council declares Napoleon an outlaw, it could mean a firing squad or a swift trip to the guillotine.
Boy,
But
Napoleon, you
the
gotta do
riotous
something
disorder
now.
has played into his hands. He is the military commander of Paris. When he hears Jacobin deputies are keeping his brother Lucien in the chamber against his will, grenadiers are sent to bring him out.
Alright, things are going down. Things
Napoleon
are
attempts to
going
rally
down.
troops for a decisive intervention. News of his manhandling by the deputies outrages his old comrades. They are
Oh, yeah.
raring to go.
Oh yeah, I bet. I
The
bet.
legislative guard,
Oh, yeah.
the 400 troops
Oh, the music is
charged with
changing.
protecting the council,
Okay.
are not convinced.
Oh, what's gonna happen? What is gonna happen?
It is Lucien who seizes the moment.
Lucien, alright.
Mounts a horse and announces, "Citizens, soldiers, the great majority of the council is at this moment being terrorized by a handful of deputies armed with daggers. These brigands are doubtless in English pay.
Using the
I
English
declare
as a
to you that
scapegoat.
these madmen have made themselves outlaws by their assaults upon the liberty of this council." Then he draws a sword and points it at Napoleon's chest. "I swear that I will stab my own brother to the heart if he ever makes an assault on the liberty of Frenchmen." The doubters are won over. A signal is given. With bayonets fixed, troops flood into the Council of 500, with General Murat at their head. "Citizens, you are dissolved," he shouts. And then to his men, "Get this damn rabble out of here." The deputies scatter. By some accounts, they jump out of windows, leaving their robes and hats strewn across the gardens.
And that's
Certainly, the conspirators had hoped to avoid the use of troops. But it had always been a backup plan, one that
Yeah.
turned out to be desperately needed.
Yep. This is super
Later
close.
that evening,
Too
a
close for
few
comfort.
deputies are rounded up to form a rump council of 500. Joined by the similarly cowed Council of Elders, they approve the measures that are suggested to them. The dissolution of the Directory. The adjournment of both councils for 4 months, though they will never meet again.
Of course.
And the appointment of 3 provisional consuls, a term borrowed from the Roman Republic. Emmanuel Joseph Sayes, Pierre Roger Ducos, and General Napoleon Bonaparte. 3 years, 8 months since he took command of the army of Italy. Napoleon has risen to the summit of political
Bro,
power
that
in
picture
France.
though. Bro, why is he that this artwork is
He will
something
now
else.
be one of 3 men in charge of drafting a new constitution for the Republic.
Alright.
But through his brilliance, energy, and immense popularity, he will soon overshadow his 2 colleagues.
Oh yeah. We all
Only
know
one man will emerge to rule France.
one man to rule them
The first
all.
consul, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Bro, Epic History TV is too hype.
What better way to cement his hold on power
Why is
than a
Epic
new
History TV
military
so
campaign
hype, bro?
and a return to Italy?
Italy. Second Coalition by Epic History TV.
Do you want to see our newest and most visually spectacular video? right now, without ads. The Battle of Cape St. Vincent was a key naval clash of the French Revolutionary War. The battle that made Nelson famous, and we're telling oversaturated viewers.
Is this done?
Even better, the Nebula Lifetime Plan offers lifetime access without strings for $300 and helps Nebula to fund more of its original creator-owned series. So, huge thanks to all our existing Nebula subscribers, and for everyone else watching, we hope to see you there soon. Thanks as always to the Patreon supporters who help to make this channel possible. From builders such as
I think it's over. Bro, that was the best epic history TV that I've ever reacted to. I'm so glad that I waited for this premiere to happen, man. Check out these videos right here. Make sure you subscribe. If you made it all the way to the end and you like my reactions, man, make sure you subscribe, man. Come on, subscribe. Check out my other Napoleon reactions on my channel, because I was reacting to Napoleon in chronological order, and when I was reacting to it, I realized that Epic History TV didn't do the second coalition. I was like, oh damn. So now I have to react to it kind of out of order, but I'm so glad that he's finally doing the second coalition. Really look forward to that. So as always, stay tuned.